Hello there, you're watching Primetime News on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Dasni Athada. Let's start off with a look at tonight's headlines.
Investigations underway to seize over 140 million in cash and over 7 billion rupees in assets owned by group responsible for the April 21st attacks. House in Nuwara used by terrorists as a training facility raided. Refrain from celebrations and gatherings during Vesak, a request from the chief prelates. UGC says Batiklo campus did not seek approval to conduct any degree program and was not granted any authority to do so.
The University Grants Commission says the institution named Batiklo campus was not granted authority to conduct any degree program.
Chairman of the UGC, Professor Mohan Silva, issued a communique this afternoon. It states that the Sharia University in question had not submitted any document requesting for permission to conduct degree programs. The communique further adds that according to the University Act 1978, the University Grants Commission is responsible for coordinating the provision of education at 15 state universities and overseeing proper management at these institutions.
Many information has surfaced about the assets of the terrorist organizations behind the April 21st terror attacks.
The
Criminal Investigations Department has discovered more than 140 million rupees from the possession of these terrorist groups. A part of this money has been taken under custody of the CID. The remaining money is kept in accounts. The CID has already taken steps to freeze those accounts. In addition, other assets worth 7 billion rupees have been identified by the CID. Investigations are carried out by the CID to freeze those assets as well.
A property in Ridhi-Thanawala Chena Batiklo was raided in a special search operation carried out today.
According to police media spokesperson SP Ruwan Gunasekura, 25 acres of this land was searched in the raid. The search operation was conducted by the Criminal Investigations Department, the Police Special Task Force and the Walachena Police. 231 gelignite sticks, a can containing acid, several cans containing various chemicals and a motorcycle were discovered during the search operation. The search operation was carried out in a plot of land in Omiyamadu, Ridhi-Thanna in the Batiklo Police Division. According to the police media spokesperson, this plot of land is owned by the terrorist group behind the April 21st terror attacks. He further said the owner of this property is currently under the custody of the Criminal Investigations Department. The CID discovered this secret place last night based on the information received through one of the suspects among the 3 suspects arrested for the murder of 2 police officers in Vaunathiu. A large number of gelignite sticks were found during this search operation.
Police and the army raided a house said to have been used to train terrorists located in Blackpool, Nuwara. According to our correspondent, 2 people close to the house were arrested. 13 suspects allegedly involved in destroying Buddhist statues in Mavanalla were remanded till the 20th of this month. They were produced before the Mavanalla Magistrates Court today. Besides the 13 who were produced in court, the Haq brothers were arrested in Gampola have also been named as suspects in this case. The 2 suspects are currently in the custody of the Criminal Investigations Department. 9 of the 10 Valampitia copper factory workers were arrested and remanded over their suspected involvement in manufacturing bombs for the April 21st attacks were released on bail. Court ordered for the 10th suspect in the case, named Karupia Rajendran Abdullah, to be remanded until the 20th of May.
Police informed court that according to an analysis of telephone records on the third suspect in the case, Mohammed Lafir had maintained a close relationship with the suicide bomber responsible for the attack on the Shangri-La Hotel. Investigations revealed that all 10 suspects had used between 2 to 8 SIM cards. Police said though the suspects claimed their monthly salary was 30,000 rupees, the men had spent most of their time out of the factory, gathering data by walking around Colombo and its suburbs. Police informed court the rent for the houses used by these men exceeded 30,000 rupees per month and requested court to deny bail for the suspects. The Colombo Additional Magistrate Priyantha Nage questioned the police under what act the suspects were being investigated. The police failed to provide definite information and thereby court ordered for the 9 suspects to be released on 2 surety bails of 500,000 rupees each. Court also barred the suspects from travelling overseas.
So far, 54 people have been arrested in connection with the April 21st attacks and are held by the Criminal Investigations Department. Among the apprehended are 7 women. In addition, another 19 suspects, including 2 women, are held by the Terrorist Investigations Division. A total of 73 suspects are currently held by the CID and the TID.
Archbishop of Colombo, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit visited several areas in Negombo today.
The Archbishop, who visited the Jumma Mosque in Palawatura, Porutata in Negombo, engaged in a discussion with the residents of the area. His Eminence then visited a mosque in Deniawata, Periamulla. The president of the All Ceylon Jamiatul Ulama, Maulavi Mufti Rizvi, was also present at this event. His Eminence addressed the people who were gathered at the mosque in Periamulla. We are not against you. I clearly stated from the day of the attacks, the Muslims are not responsible for the attacks in Katuapitiya, Kochikade and Batikalo. This is the work of misguided youth. The Muslims should not bear responsibility for this. Kindly stop raising your hand against our Muslim brothers. We are brothers who believe in the same God.
Take the law into your hands. Anything happen, please go to police station, and our DIG and all the army, respected army authorities are there to support us.
On a separate note, a media briefing was held at the Archbishop's house in Colombo today. I have understood that there is chance that the country will be dragged down to the level where we have to seek the support of other countries after religious problems are created in the country. In a time where uncertainty prevails, we need to remember the people who take arms will be destroyed. I believe that we have to live in peace and harmony and always keep in mind that hate does not cancel hate. We postponed the reopening of Catholic schools based on the information we received. We have the responsibility of educating the students at the Catholic schools. Because of that, we intend on implementing a security program and then reopening the Catholic schools.
We did experience a minor technical glitch a while ago. However, taking that story once again, police and the army raided a house said to have been used to train terrorists located in Blackpool, Nuwara. According to our correspondent, 2 people close to the house were arrested.
The raid was conducted based on information provided by a suspect arrested by the State Intelligence Service in Kathankudi. The suspect was taken to the house located along Dharmapala in Blackpool, Nuwara. He revealed details of the location where he and Mohammed Zaharan has resided in. The suspect in custody had said that they had arrived in Nuwara from Kathankudi at 4 a.m. on a weekday last month. The suspect said that he along with the group were brought to this location in 2 vans. He revealed that Mohammed Zaharan and other suicide bombers and the suspects involved in vandalizing Buddha statues in Gampola along with 35 others had attended the programs that were organized at this house. He said the attendees were informed on religious ideologies and the use of T-56 firearms. The owner of the house had rented this out to another person to carry out a business activity. The police suspected that businessman had allowed Mohammed Zaharan and the group to use it. Based on the information uncovered while questioning the two suspects arrested in Gampola, Shahid Abdul Haq and Sadiq Abdul Haq, a motorbike with a large engine capacity was discovered at a house in Ulapane, Gampola. Police suspect that the motorbike was used to vandalize the Buddhist statues in Mavanalla. According to the police, it was an unregistered vehicle and had been ridden with fraudulent number plates. The police said that the motorbike was brought down to the country by an uncle of the Haq brothers.
Meanwhile, Reverend Father Camillus Fernando met with the chief prelates of the Mawatu Askiri chapter of the Siam sect and delivered a message from Archbishop Cardinal Malcolm Ranjit. In the letter, the Archbishop conveyed his sincerest thanks to the chief prelates for sharing their grief with the people who were affected by the Easter Sunday terror attacks. The Archbishop further noted in the letter that lives could have been saved if prior notice had been given about these attacks. The letter further notes that the Archbishop is not pleased with the manner in which the government operated before the attacks.
The Mahanayakas of the three sects have requested the general public to refrain from gathering in large groups to celebrate the Vesak festival. The Mahanayakas request devotees to prioritize on spiritual upliftment during this year's Vesak season.
In their message, they stress that during the season of Vesak, it is the responsibility of everyone to strengthen the resolve of all Sri Lankans who have been devastated by the Easter Sunday terror attacks. The Seros request the general public to give priority to conducting Pratipatti Puja during this Vesak season. They added that devotees should act upon the advice of the security forces when organizing various meritorious deeds. The Mahanayaka Theros stressed that all politicians should set aside political differences and follow a single policy aimed at rooting out terrorism from our society.
MP Vimal Veeravansa expressed the following views during a seminar in Colombo yesterday.
During
the past 4.5 years, the present government has entered into 2 agreements with the US government. One agreement is due to be signed. If we analyze these agreements in depth, the rest of the story is very clear. The ACSA, or the Acquisition and Cross-Servicing Agreement, includes a list of US forces, including the US Marine Corps. During a state of emergency, the agreement also agrees to grant permission to any of these forces to enter the island. What does the other agreement state? This government permits the granting of immunity to those having connections with the US Department of Defense, granting approval to enter and remain in the island without any inspection. If the knives belonging to those Christian fishermen came to life, at what point will the bloodshed cease? Will such a situation not create a state of emergency in the country? At that point, even the Pope is not safe with the local Christian community. Will the thought of requesting for the help and intervention from world leaders not cross our minds? Against such a backdrop, and with the agreements already formed, will the 7th Fleet of the United States Indo-Pacific Command not enter Sri Lanka without an invitation? The risk still prevails. If the general public chooses to react emotionally and violently, deviating from their current compassionate approach, this will result in a state of emergency, which is exactly what the United States is waiting for. The USA created ISIS to attack Syria. It was the USA that created the Taliban in Afghanistan against the Soviet Union. They used the ISIS to weaken a particular state. We must face this reality. The present US ambassador was previously in Tunisia, Yemen, Afghanistan and Syria. All of these countries were attacked. Any country that experienced terrorism was weakened. It is this highly experienced ambassador who is currently based in Colombo. Therefore, do not take this matter lightly. On the other hand, you must understand that the 2 bomb explosions in Shangri-La did not simply take place. These bombers did not simply enter and exit certain hotels. You will understand when we identify the ownership of the hotels that did not experience any attacks. This is the hunting ground of the power struggle between China and the US. Sri Lanka has become a victim of international politics.
දඩබිම තමයි මෙතන. ඒ දඩබිම තමයි ගොදුරුබිම තමයි මෙතන. ඒ නිසා මේ ලෝක දේශපාලන බල ක්‍රීඩාවේ ගැටුම්කාරී ගොදුරක් බවට තමයි මේ ලක්මාතාවද පත් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ.
Minister Sajith Premadasa made a request from the general public today.
මගේ ඉල්ලීමක් තිබෙනවා මේ රටේ සමස්ත ජනතාවගෙන්.
I have to make a request from the people of this country. Please do not create tension and fight on the streets and provide ammunition to fulfill the agenda of the terrorists who carries out this attack. The IS terrorists want to create instability and uncertainty in the country. So we as a country should not work in furtherance of the agenda of the IS terrorists. The general public have the responsibility to act in a peaceful manner. We will work to destroy the terrorism within a short period of time.
Minister Sajith Premadasa was speaking to the media after observing the reconstruction of the St. Sebastian's Church in Katwapiti, Negombo. The renovation of the church is being funded by the Ministry of Cultural Affairs and being carried out by the Army and the State Engineering Corporation.
Footage of a meeting chaired by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, where a discussion regarding the removal of the IGP has been circulating on social media recently.
police headquarters එක ඇතුලේ police සැරයක බෙල්ලෙන් අල්ලලා හේතු කරනවා. එතනින් පස්සේ මම එතුමාට දැඩි ලෙස විරුද්ධව විවේචනය කරා. ඉතින් දැන් එයා අයින් කරලා තියෙනවා. දැන් අපි මේ නීති තාර්ක සභාවේ එතුමාට ආදරෙන් ආදරේ කියන්නේ නීති තාර්ක ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ සර්. දැන් යන දෙයට යන්න දෙන්න. අපි ගිහිල්ලා එයාව මේ කතා කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ කවුරු.
Why is the IGP not resigning from his position? MP Udayagamanpila expressed the following views in this regard.
It will be 2 weeks tomorrow since the President requested the IGP to resign. Why is he not resigning? Why is he not afraid? He knows that as long as he has the support of the UNP, he cannot be removed from his position. As per the Removal of Officers Procedure Act No. 5 of 2002, if the IGP is to be removed, 113 MPs must approve the proposal. The UNP has the majority in Parliament. They must bring forward this proposal. The Parliament will convene tomorrow. However, until date, the UNP has not forwarded this proposal. At this point, we question the government. Is the UNP protecting the IGP? Because the IGP is protecting the secrets of the UNP.
තවමත් මේ පොලිස්පතිවරයා රකින්නේ එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ රහස් ඔහු විසින් රැකගෙන සිටින නිසාද කියන ප්‍රශ්නය අපිට ආණ්ඩුවෙන් අහන්න සිද්ධ වෙනවා.
MP Dinesh Gunawardena met with former Minister Basil Rajapaksa today.
The meeting held at the Podujana Peramuna office in Battaramulla focused on discussions regarding the future political plan of the alliance. Our party has decided to do whatever is required to guarantee the safety of the general public. Also, I must remind you that we are not going to take any political advantages from this incident. We are also not willing to suffer any political disadvantages.
We are
the stance that we should gather all forces to send this government packing. The representatives appointed by the people in the future will be reliable individuals. Those who have been accused will be rejected by the people.
චෝදනාවට ලක් වෙන අමාත්‍යවරු ගෙදර යවයි මහජනයා ඡන්දයෙන්.
මේ අහන්නේ රිෂාඩ් බද්රුද්දීන් වැනි අය නැවත ජනතාව තෝරලා එව්වොත් ඔබගේ ආණ්ඩුව හදන්නට ඔහු ඒකට අරගෙන අඩුපාඩු తీරන කැබිනට්
අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ
There will be no need to do that. I state with responsibility that there will be no need.
නෑ ඉතින් ගන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙන්න බෑ. අවශ්‍ය වුණොත් නෑ අවශ්‍ය වුණොත් ගන්න නෑ.
Sri Lanka police said notorious underworld drug kingpin Markandure Madush will be detained and interrogated under the provisions of the Prevention of Terrorism Act.
Madush, who was deported from Dubai, was arrested early last morning upon arrival at the Bandar Naik International Airport by the CID. He had arrived in the country using a passport bearing the number 5450656 with an alias Walnakura Surya Ajit Aranga. He had arrived in the country on a business class seat and was immediately arrested when exiting the aircraft. The CID is currently conducting the investigation on Markandure Madush. The CID is interrogating Madush over a number of crimes that he ordered while he was hiding overseas.
Secretary to the State Ministry of Defence NKGK Nammawatha has written to the All Ceylon Jamiatul Ulama regarding the prior warning on ISIS attacks.
The letter speaks of a statement made by Maulavi Rizvi Mufti at a multi-religious leaders meeting with the President. According to the letter, the Maulavi had said that he provided all information and documents regarding extremist groups in the country when he met with State Minister Ruwan Wijewardena. The letter adds that although the Maulavi and State Minister Ruwan Wijewardena met in 2015, no information on extremist groups were handed in. The Secretary of the State Ministry of Defence stresses that given the severity of the statement made by the Maulavi, he requests that he make amends and corrects his statement. The Secretary states that legal action will be instituted if the chairman of the All Ceylon Jamiatul Ulama, Maulavi Rizvi Mufti, does not correct his statement.
The Ceylon Bank Employees Union has written a letter to the President calling for an investigation on a tender for the procurement of a core banking system for the National Savings Bank. Newsfirst's Zulfik Farzan reports.
The letter says at a time when almost all banks and financial institutions are operating with new banking systems, the NSB for the past 3 years is still in the process of obtaining such a system. It adds the delay in this process alone is causing serious issues for the National Savings Bank. In 2016, NSB called for tenders for the core banking system and shortlisted 4 bidders and finally decided to award the tender to the highest bidder at a cost of $12 million. Following objections and appeals and the appointment of a cabinet-appointed procurement committee, Cabinet had decided to award the said tender to the highest bidder, disregarding the recommendations calling for a fresh evaluation. The Ceylon Bank Employees Union says the process, which took place under the then Ministry of Public Enterprises and Kandy Development, will cause a serious loss to the National Savings Bank.
The second term for students from the 6th grade to the 13th grade began today. However, it was reported that the attendance at many schools was very poor.
Security was provided by the Tri-Forces and the police when schools reopened for the second term today. Parents and past pupils had also assisted. The attendance of students at Royal College Colombo had dropped to 200. This was the situation at the Buddhist Balika Vidyalaya in Mount Lavinia.
ආරක්ෂාව මැද හින්දා ඉතින් මම මේ බාරයාර හිටගෙන ඉන්න ළමයා එනකන් ඔය අපේ වාහනේ එක ළමයා ආවේ ළමයි දෙමව්පියෝ බයනේ එවන්න.
The attendance at Visakha Vidyalaya Colombo fell to 50 students. Only a few students were present at Ananda College Colombo and Ananda Balika Vidyalaya Colombo. A similar low turnout of students was reported from government schools in Ganemulla Gampaha. Our correspondent said that only a few students attended school in Kandy today. Security forces had taken steps to inform teachers and parents of the safety measures in place. It was reported that only 25 students attended class at the Mathura Rahula Vidyalaya.
ආරක්ෂාව සම්බන්ධයෙන් අපි යම්කිසි සෑයීමකට පත් විය හැකි මට්ටමක් පාසල්වල දැනට තියෙනවා.
Only 25 students attended class at the Mathura Mathinda Anura Vidyalaya. The parents of the students had this to say.
මේ ඉස්කෝලේ සිවිල් ආරක්ෂක බටෙන් දෙන්නෙක් ඉන්නවා. ඒ සිවිල් ආරක්ෂක බටෙන් දෙන්න ඉන්නෙත් ආයුධ රහිතව. ඉතින් මේ ඉස්කෝලේට මීට වඩා ආරක්ෂාව සපයන්න.
The turnout at schools in the Hambantota district was also very low. The police and the police special task force were deployed in the Hambantota district. A low turnout of students was also reported at schools in Dambulla. Parents had gathered at a number of locations to provide security. A similar low turnout was also reported from the Kurunegala district. This is footage from the Colombo Defence Services College this morning. There is a circular that says the responsibility of ensuring the safety of students falls on the teachers, the principals and the past pupils. There was strong opposition by the principals and teachers against this. We highlighted yesterday as well that the schools in the country should only be opened after fortifying national security. But the schools were open today, ignoring this request. Today the reopening of schools have been unsuccessful. Only 10% of the students have attended classes in the island today. The school system of the whole country was crippled. The reason for this is the parents are still afraid to send their children to school. After such a crisis, the country cannot come back to normalcy like turning on a switch. It has to be done gradually. Even we came out of our homes very gradually. Now we have no fear to come out. But during the first few days we were afraid. That is how the feelings of the people play out. The government has provided protection. The people will think about it and carry out their activities. This shows that the parents of this country do not trust this government. This certifies that the people of this country do not believe anything that this government say. This government not only failed to prevent an attack after receiving prior warning, but they cannot assure the people of their safety even after the attack. This country cannot move forward with a government like this. The Mahanayakas and the Cardinal, who can clearly see further than the government, made a request to reopen the schools only after the security of the children can be assured. They requested for the government not to provide space for the lives of our children to be destroyed. We are unhappy that the government acted in a manner disregarding their advice.
Search operations were carried out in many parts of the country today as well.
A special search operation was carried in the Tharampam area in Mana at a holiday inn said to be owned by Minister Rishad Badiuddin. The media was not allowed to cover the search operation. 1,056 uniform kits of Army, Navy, Air Force, STF and Civil Security Forces were discovered from a residence in Talapitiya, Galle. It has been revealed that all these uniforms have been stitched by the Ranaviru Apparel Company, which tailors the uniforms of the tri-forces. A 45-year-old suspect has been arrested after the search operations. A suspected parcel left near the Suchi International School in Hambantota was inspected by the security forces. According to our correspondent, nearly 100 CDs were discovered inside the parcel and several CDs in Arabic were also discovered during the inspection. Police discovered 1 kilogram of gunpowder in a garbage dump on the side of the main entry road to the Sri Parakum Sinhala Vidyalaya in Kotagala, Hatton. Further investigations on the incident are carried out by the Army and the Dimulapatana police. The Army Bomb Disposal Unit and the Air Force officials inspected a suspicious parcel left on a motorbike in the Gaspaha Junction area in Colombo. The inspection was carried out at about 11:30 this morning and no explosives were found inside the parcel. A special search operation was carried out in the Horopatana, Mukkaraveva and Kiulakada area and other areas today. A laptop and 96 CDs containing lectures of the National Tawhid Jamaat were discovered during the search operations. Additionally, many equipment along with 6 external hard drives, 2 swords, a mobile phone, 3 flash drives and several passports were taken into custody by the security forces. 6 suspects have been taken into custody in this regard. A jeep was inspected by 2 police officers who were on duty opposite the Bandaragama Gongamua school. 200 gelatinite sticks and 250 kilograms of ammonium nitrate were found during the inspection. The owner of the jeep has been arrested and has been identified as a resident of Millenia. 24 T-56 bullets have been discovered by security forces in a tea estate near the Peradeniya Vatura Kumbura Silumina Saya Viharaya. An employee of the tea estate had first noticed the stock of bullets and had informed the security forces. Meanwhile, 3 petrol bombs were discovered on the main road located 100 meters away from the Wathura Kumara Secondary School today. An individual suspected to be involved with the National Tawhid Jamaat was arrested in Ikirigollava, Rambayava, Madavachya. Preliminary investigations have revealed that the suspect has come to Madavachya 3 months ago and had conducted lectures on the National Tawhid Jamaat. Another individual who couldn't confirm his identity was also arrested in the same area. 9 T-56 bullet casings were found inside a 3-wheeler in Kattuana, Kurunagala based on the intelligence received by the army officials. The owner of the 3-wheeler has been arrested and further investigations are underway. 2 explosives and a firearm were discovered by the security forces behind a mosque in Godigamua, Kotabova, Bibile. The mosque is said to be connected to the National Tawhid Jamaat. The raid was conducted based on a tip-off received by the Army Intelligence Unit. 1 person has been arrested.
Finance Minister Mangala Samaravira, in an interview with Bloomberg Television, said Sri Lanka will consider a tax amnesty program for the tourism industry in a bid to help companies recover from the April 21st attacks that killed more than 250 people.
The terror attacks are set to hit tourism, which accounts for 5% of the $87 billion economy. Meanwhile, speaking exclusively to Bloomberg on the sidelines of the Asian Development Bank meetings in Fiji, Minister Samaravira said Sri Lanka will consider a tax amnesty program for the tourism industry in a bid to help companies recover from the April 21st terror attacks.
You have said as well that you are intending to help the hoteliers with a package plan. Could you elaborate on that? But what are you planning to do?
To start off with, I think many of them really basically been asking, for example, duty-free waivers, etc., on bringing security equipment for hotels and other places where tourists gather. So all these requests will be given serious considerations, decisions taken quickly so that we could get back to normal. The tourism industry can get back to normal as soon as possible.
The hoteliers had asked for a range of concessions in a meeting with the President last week. The 2-year moratorium was a key request of hoteliers to extend to their staff as well. The hoteliers also requested for reduced interest rates of 2% to pay off the capitalized interest. The government has, however, agreed only for a 1-year moratorium to support the hotel industry during its recovery period in the aftermath of the April 21st terror attacks. Speaking to Mirror Business, the Hotels Association of Sri Lanka President Sanath Ukwata said that hoteliers also sought a minimum 6-month waiver for interest payments on loans. The hoteliers point out that forward bookings have almost come to a standstill following the travel warnings issued by key source countries of Sri Lanka tourism. Further, the hoteliers had also requested soft loans with around 2% interest from the government to manage their operational costs, including timely payment of salaries to their employees. Central Bank Governor Indrajit Kumaraswamy is expected to submit a report to a cabinet subcommittee headed by Tourism Minister John Amaratunga on how best the banks could provide financial relief.
At least 41 people on board a Russian passenger jet were killed, including 2 children, after the aircraft crash-landed at a Moscow airport earlier today, bursting into flames on impact.
Foreign media reported that the Aeroflot flight Su-1492 skidded down the runway at Moscow Sheremetyevo Airport, its rear section ablaze. Once the plane had come to a halt, passengers escaped using emergency slides from the plane's 2 forward doors. Initial reports said the Superjet 100 was flying from Moscow to Murmansk, a Russian city in the Arctic Circle, when an emergency on board forced it to turn back. A local media report reported that a loss of communication caused by a lightning strike had led to the decision to turn the plane around. No official cause has yet been provided for the disaster. A spokeswoman for Russia's investigative committee said that a total of 78 people were on board the flight, including 5 crew members. 37 people survived, 5 of whom are currently receiving treatment in hospital. The Russian airline Aeroflot published an incomplete list of 33 survivors, including the names of the 5 passengers hospitalized. In a series of short statements on its website, it said the aircraft was evacuated in 55 seconds, compared with the industry norm of 90 seconds. The airline added that the captain was the last to leave the burning aircraft and offered its condolences to the passengers and their families. It announced that it would fly relatives of those affected to Moscow without charge. The Superjet is a relatively new aircraft, making its maiden flight in 2008 before entering service in mid-2011. According to the company, more than 100 planes are in operation around the world. A state news agency reported that Russia's Emergency Situations Ministry said today that it does not plan to suspend the operation of Sukhoi Superjet aircraft.
The Royal Thai Embassy in Colombo organized a ceremony today to offer blessings and the good wishes to His Majesty King Rama X on the auspicious occasion of the coronation at the residence of Etchi Chulamani Chatuswan, the ambassador of the Kingdom of Thailand to Sri Lanka.
Officials at the Royal Thai Embassy and the Thai community in Colombo attended the event. The ceremony started this afternoon, coinciding with the time that His Majesty the King granted a public audience on the balcony of the Grand Palace in Bangkok to receive the good wishes of the Thai people. The coronation ceremony is an ancient royal practice to complete the procedure of the enthronement of the King of Thailand. It is an important event in Thailand where the monarchy is the core institution.
Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex and the wife of Britain's Prince Harry, gave birth to a baby boy today, the 7th in line to the throne.
London's BT Tower displayed words of congratulations to the couple, while royal supporters lined the streets of Windsor as news of the royal baby's arrival came to light. The baby, who has not yet been named, was born in the early hours of the morning, weighing 3.2 kilograms. Both Meghan and the baby, the couple's first child, were both healthy and well. Harry, Queen Elizabeth's grandson, was present for the birth, and Dorrie Ragland, Meghan's mother, was also with the couple at their home. The Queen and the other members of the royal family were delighted by the news.
And that's a wrap of Primetime News for tonight. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Dasni Athada. Good night.